my name is Bethany Stahl, and this is Authors Tell All. I'm really excited because in just a few minutes, we are going to be meeting Markita Staples, a first-time children's book author with an incredible book. I'm really excited to meet her, so here we go. Hey everybody, I am here today with Markita Staples, and she is a children's book author, so I'm really excited to have you here today and share a little bit about your book.
Thanks, Bethany. I'm happy to be here.
So let's talk about your book, What Should I Do Today? It seems perfect for the world we're living in currently. So what inspired you to write this story?
Okay, so I am a mom of two young girls, and reading has become like one of our favorite pastimes. My kids are really young right now. They are 3 and 1. And so the now 3-year-old, at one point, I just started to take notice of like what some of the things were that she was interested in, what kind of books captured her attention. And so I basically wrote the book that I felt that she would want to read. So, what should I do today? And I don't know if I'm stealing your thunder on whether I should talk about the book now, but I'll talk about like what it's about. So, it features a group of kids called the Curly Crew, and they ask the question, "What should I do today?" And through each page, that question gets answered. Should I blow bubbles or should I go to the park? And they do different activities. And then in the end, they all decide, let's play together. Um, and so what it features is, just it's written with a young child in mind. And it's very simple wording. It's in rhyme. That's another thing that I noticed that my daughter likes is when books rhyme. She kind of
Yes.
picks up on the patterns, and then bright colors throughout the book as well. She latches on to bright colors and, just a really simple message. And then the kids are also doing things that she likes to do.
That's
So
great.
yeah, it's a fun book.
So I was looking at your book and I seen that you are not only the author, but you're also the illustrator. So what comes first for you, the story or the art?
Yeah. Which same for you, Bethany. Your books are absolutely beautiful. Like
Thank
goals
you.
in terms of this illustrating. I'm just now starting this like illustrator path. So with this book, I would say that the storyline came first. Originally I was going to hire an illustrator, and that was kind of the path that I was going down. And as I started like sketching out the different illustrations, and I'll just kind of hold it up because I have it right here. But as I started kind of drawing out the illustrations to go with my words, I found myself just kind of loving that process, and I was like, you know what, let me just see how it goes if I were to try to illustrate this book. And I fell in love with it. So I would say so far, and so then I have like all types of ideas for what future books will be, and I'm kind of starting with the words and the storyline. However, as I get more into art, and now I've been kind of in my like inspiration board, I find myself looking at different illustrations and saying, I wonder if I could like come up with a story that goes along with that. So we'll see kind of how it works in the future.
That's awesome. And I think it's always really interesting to hear that from people who are authors and illustrators. So, did you have prior art experience or did you just jump right into it?
Yeah, I just jumped in.
That's always, I love to hear that.
And it's been an interesting road because now I'm looking like I've also, I'm sort of like drawing and illustrating the next book too, but at the same time, I'm taking some courses to learn how to be a better illustrator. And so I'm already starting to look back at my illustrations, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like I need to fix some of that. And like, so it's a balance where in some cases, I like the almost juvenile aesthetic that I have to, some of what I'm doing. But so now I'm kind of like in this constant tug of war between like, do I want to make that look a whole lot better and a lot more professional, or do I want to continue to make it look very childlike? Because I just kind of like that. And what it's kind of allowed me to do, and just not focusing on like, oh my God, does this look, perfect professional, is it just allows me to play. When we were kids, like we would draw and we would color, and that's what I went back to. I pretty much picked back up with like where I was at, like, I don't know, a third grade level or wherever I was when I last, did anything artistic. So
I really
yeah, so
love
it's been an
that.
interesting journey.
And I think that's relatable for readers who are looking at your book to relate to the art, and they can sort of have that fun message as well as the images that are also really fun and playful. And I really like the style of your book.
Thank
So
you.
I was reading about it, and there are amazing reviews on Amazon, and a lot of them mentioned it's perfect for little ones to start to get learning to read. And I think that's really interesting, because I always feel like maybe it's hard to create a book that is both fun and is a great teaching tool. And everyone is bragging about how well this book is the perfect balance. So did you find that hard to do?
You know, it actually, so it's interesting. I always appreciate that feedback in like hearing what people, get from the book. And then I don't know if this has been your experience, but I've found that there are things that people will call out and say, for example, oh, I love how the book really, teaches kids to be imaginative, and like just all these little subtle themes that when they say it, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, sure. That was the goal. And maybe like in the back of my mind that I had in mind that I want that message to come out. But I just honestly, I naturally was driven by, again, like, what is it that I want my daughter to read? Another very subtle message that is really important, and not even message, but just thing for this book is, this is a book that features kids of color, like the entire Curly crew. They're all, designed to be African American, or if they're biracial, just some mix of African American. And, um, you know, my original concept for this book was actually not what it ended up being. It was a more of a overt message of like, hey, I love my hair and I love my skin and that kind of thing. And then I was like, you know what? I don't necessarily want to approach it this way. I'd rather just show the like, hey, we're a group of Black kids and we're doing the things that everyone else does and we're no different, and just kind of normalizing that discussion around diversity. So that was really important for me too. And that's another just like subtle theme that I want to come out in the book. And I want it to be available for anyone. Doesn't matter, what color you are, but you just kind of
Exactly,
see
yeah.
Black kids, playing.
That's wonderful. And I am all about diversity in children's books. And I am so glad to see that continue to be a theme within books, and also having normal stories around it. I absolutely love that. So there are 6 different children in your book.
Yeah, there's 6 different children.
So, I heard you mention that there is a second book that you're working on. So we're going to see these same children again?
Yeah, so we're gonna follow them. I don't know if you grew up on like, I don't know, I'm telling my age a little bit, but so there was like Babysitter's Club and, Sweet Valley High and like those books. And so
Mm-hmm.
that was like my bread and butter when I was a kid. And I kind of see this kind of being like almost like a Babysitter's Club. And so you've got all these different characters, and then you've got this series of books, and they may just kind of feature one character. So I think the next book, I started to sketch it out. And at one point I was like, oh, I'm going to have all the characters again. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to choose one. So the next book, just for a sneak preview, it's about like bedtime routine. Because that's another thing that we're going through right now with the 3-year-old. It's like time for bed. No, I don't want to go to bed, and I'm going to fight you every step of the way. And so it's this like this like little play between mom and baby of like, hey, okay, it's time to put your toys away and it's time to brush your teeth. And then, and so it'll just focus on one of the characters. And then the next book will be maybe a different one.
Really, really cool. I love that. So that's really exciting to find out that they can fall in love with these characters and keep learning more and revisiting them. And I've also heard that you have free coloring pages available on your website. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, I do. So those are really fun to do too. So they are a couple of the images that are actually in the book. So if anyone goes to my website, curlycrewbooks.com, and if you sign up for the mailing list, then you'll get the coloring pages. And yeah, they're perfect.
Awesome.
They're simple enough for any age, but then there's also enough detail, I think, where like for older children, they can kind of have some fun with them too.
That's really cool. So that's really fun. So if you have a copy of the book, you can get the coloring page and sort of read it and color at the same time, which is a really fun activity. So where is the best place to grab a copy of your book?
Yeah, so you can find it on Amazon. It's easy to either search for my name, Markita Staples, or you can search Curly Crew. If you search "What should I do today," you'll find all types of stuff. Eventually, it'll pop up until I get those Amazon rankings. Yeah.
But all the links for your book will be down below in the description. And your book is also available on Kindle Unlimited. So if you guys don't have Kindle Unlimited, there's going to be a link in the description for you to get a 1-month free trial. So you guys can download that today and check out the book today and get your coloring pages and do all these things for free. So this is really cool and exciting, and I am really glad we got to meet, and I really loved hearing more about your book.
Thanks so much, Bethany. Thank you for having me.
I am sure we'll be in contact in the future as we see more Curly Crew books come out.
For sure.
All right, bye. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to go down in the description and check out this amazing book. I will see you all next time.